Alright, you guys, today we're going to show you how to start the engine. I'm going to use my checklist because the checklist is going to tell me how to start my engine. I don't want to leave anything off of the checklist because I need it. I don't want to make any mistakes here. Following the checklist is very important. It tells us all the steps that we need to do to successfully start the engine. Alright, first things first, make sure we have our seats, our seat belts on. Seat's good, it is. Fuel shutoff valve is down here. It's this knob right here. I'm going to make sure that it's pushed in. All I have to do is push it in, and basically it just tells us that we have fuel coming through the valve and it's coming down to the engine. We'll make sure our fuel shutoff selector valve is on both, which it is not, and it's this valve right here. All we do is turn it right until it clicks on the both, just like that. All right, next we're going to make sure the avionics master switch is off. It's this switch right here. This is white switch right here, and this is the off position. This controls all our electronics. All right, brakes. The brakes are the top of the pedals. I don't know if you can see them or not, but they're the top of the pedals right here, making sure that they're getting some type of response and that they're working, which they are. All right, what's next on the checklist? The circuit breakers. The circuit breakers are these things right here with the numbers on them. Want to make sure that they're not popped. If they are popped, then that means one of our electronics or equipment might be damaged or messed up. We don't want that happening now, do we? All right, now we're going to turn our beacon on. The beacon is this right here. It's just a light that we need when the aircraft is on and operating. All right, now how you work it is just flip it up and down, just like that. The beacon is on. Mixture, full rich. This is mixture is basically how we put fuel into the engine. What we do is we push it all the way in because we want fuel into our engine so we can start the plane, right? You know our engine likes fuel, just like your car. All right, throttle full open. Throttle controls how fast or what the engine speed or the propeller speed is, and we're pushing that all the way in, just like that. All right, now we're going to prime the engine. We're going to put fuel from a fuel pump into the engine. The fuel pump switch is right here, so we're going to first on the master switch. Don't forget that, so we can actually use the fuel pump. The master switch is this red thing. All it did was flip into the on position. On position. All right. To turn the fuel pump on, we're going to flip the switch just like I did the beacon. Wait till it gets to 5 up here, and then turn it off. Or I can do 1001, 1002, 1003, and that helps me successfully prime the engine or get enough mixture or fuel into the engine so we can do an engine startup. All right, next on the checklist, leaning out the mixture. This is lean out when you pull it all the way out. I'm pulling back the throttle as well, and I'm opening it 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch is the distance from my finger to this circle. And once it hits the circle, I'm stopping, putting the throttle in. I'm giving myself a little throttle inside so I can actually start the engine and have some type of engine speed once I crank it. Because if I have it all the way out, then the engine won't start. In other terms, or the engine will be too low to start, at too low of RPM to start. All right. So next on the list is propeller clear. I'm gonna yell clear prop. I'm gonna yell clear prop so everybody that's around me knows I'm about to start my engine, and they need to stay clear of the prop so they don't get hit. I don't want some kid or yourself, and for example, running out and then getting hit by the propeller and killing themselves. So that's why I have to yell clear prop. Clear prop! All right, for safety reasons. Now I'm going to start the engine. So I'm going to use this key right here to start the engine. I'm going to put it in the ignition switch, which is this thing right here. Put it in there. I'm going to go from the off to the start position, and the propeller will start spinning. And once it spins and it catches, just like a lawnmower, once it catches like a lawnmower, we'll go mixture full rich so we can add fuel to the engine. All right, so I'm going from alt to start. As the engine catches, I'm putting mixture full rich, so I'm pulling it in, or pushing it in. I'm pushing it in, and I'm cranking the key from the left all the way to the right. All right, make sure you have your feet on the brakes because we don't want to you know, run off as soon as we start the engine. That's why we need to have our feet on the brakes to keep the plane from running from us. All right. Let's see. All right, and that's how you successfully start the engine. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. All right, so that's pretty much it, you guys, to start the engine, which is it. As soon as you start the engine, you want to make sure you adjust the power to 1,000 RPM, because we don't want to be blasting our rocks, anything on people or in front of us. And that's one of the reasons why we yell clear prop. So as we start the engine, it doesn't hit the rocks that the propeller picks up, doesn't hit anybody, or like I said earlier, or you get hit by the propeller. All right, so we're checking 1,000 RPM because we don't want to go too fast on while we're on the ground. That's brakes we have to use. All right, next we're looking at the oil pressure, making sure it's in the green. Basically, just make sure our engine meeting requirements or limitations set out by the manufacturer. All right, we're going to lean our mixture out. Lean the mixture out is just pushing this button right here and pulling it out. Or you can rotate it out, whatever you want to do. Normally, I like to use 2 fingers to properly lean out fuel. All right, so we have our throttle, our oil pressure rechecked, our flaps are up. We're looking left and right. These are our flaps. I'll put them down for you to show you what they look like. The flaps are right there. They're coming down right now. That's what the flaps are. And we use those for landing sometimes for takeoff. All right, the flaps are up, or they're actually down, but we need to pull them back up. This is the electronic switch. All we're doing is moving the switch up and down. We're just making sure that the flaps are up, and now they are. All right, we're going to listen to the weather.
0. All right, Torius Moore, contact clearance delivering 18.3. Advise on initial contact, you have information echo. Montgomery Tower information echo 1653 Zulu, wind 120 at 7, visibility 10, few clouds at 2,800, 3,300 scattered, ceiling 5,000 broken, temperature 28, dew point 20, altimeter 3017. Runway 10 visual approach news, you arrive and departure towards a raised cable located approximately 7,500 feet.
All right, so basically all I did with you guys was check the weather, make sure everything's clear. How many clouds and stuff were out there? Was it sunny, or is it cloudy, or is it rainy, or is it thunderstorming? Stuff like that. What runway they were using? Basically, I just checked the weather for that, and I know the weather is good, and that's what that gave me right there. Now I'm going to contact ground and tell them that I want a taxi to the active runway so I can take off. Are you ready? Hope so. Montgomery ground, Cessna 173, Mike Echo.
Cessna 173, Mike Echo, Montgomery ground.
Montgomery ground, Cessna 173, Mike Echo. Going to the west practice area, negative radar with information echo, ready to taxi to 10, request Alpha 3. Alpha 4, 3 Mike Echo.
Cessna 3 Mike Echo, runway 10 at Alpha 4, taxi via Alpha.
10, Alpha 4, 3 Mike Echo. Alright, so now in order to taxi, what I'm going to do is let my feet off the brakes, add a little power, like this, and bring the power back out. The power is this black knob that I'm in. Now I'm using the left and right pedals to turn the airplane. It's kind of counterintuitive. Normally you're used to using this, the steering wheel to turn, but no, not on the ground. We use our pedals to turn the airplane on the ground. So, of course, that's going to take practice, and I want to tell you that now so you already know. So when you hop in an airplane for yourself, you don't start turning the airplane like this. That's not how you turn the airplane on the ground. I don't want people looking at you because you're not taxiing to a wall or another airplane, for example. All right, so right now, I'm just visually looking outside, making sure I'm staying clear of any aircraft or any people, obstacles, any cones or anything like that. I'm using my pedals, the bottom of my pedals here, to turn the airplane. I'm not using the top. Remember, the top of the brakes.
Shooter
Brakes causes us to stop. We don't want that.
Clear to November Sierra Echo as filed on departure, calling maintain 3,000, expect 9,010 minutes. Departure frequency 124.0, squawk 35 at 65.
All right, so basically what he just said was, we don't need to worry about it. It doesn't apply to us. He was just giving another guy clearance to come and land at our airport.
wasn't talking to me, talking to somebody else. All right. So I'm still using my rudders here. My rudders are the pedals.
Shooter 233, read back correct.
Using these pedals here, the bottom of these pedals, because remember the top of the brakes, to turn the airplane. All right, once I come to a turn up here, I like to actually use a little braking along with the pedal. So I like to use a little right top pedal to turn so I can stop and I can turn more accurately. Remember, brakes or these pedals are literally independent. So if I stop with my left, I'm going to go left. If I stop with my right, I'm going to go right. So you have to use, if you want to brake in a straight line distance, you have to use both braking or both feet on the top of the pedals. All right. All right, so I'm going to take this stuff up here. I'm going to use that left top of the brake or top of the pedal. Turn the airplane. Notice the whole time I've been manipulating the power here. Manipulating the power, using the power, I've been pushing it in and out based on how fast I want to go. If I want to go fast, I'm going to go full power. But we don't do that on the ground. We normally just have 1,000 RPM, right? All right. So how I used this instrument was I was just manipulating the throttle, so pushing it in, pushing it out to go fast or to go slower. Normally we like to be at 1-0, right? 1,000 RPM when we're passing. All right, that's all I looked at when I was on the ground. That's all I looked at. For right now. All right, before takeoff, we do have a before takeoff checklist.
Shooter 233, Montgomery ground, runway 10, taxi via Alpha. 10 via Alpha.
All right, so parking brake is set. Doors, windows, and my feet are on the brake, so they're set. Doors, windows are closed and latched, so this window's latched. That door is shut. This window's latched. This door is shut. All right, that's done. Flight control. So if you look outside to the left, you can see that aileron is pointed up. If you look at to the right, you can see that aileron is pointed down. The aileron is the wing. This is what causes us to turn left and right. So if I want to turn left, I'm going to turn left this way. Like I'm going to have the yoke like this or the steering wheel like this. All right. If I want to go up in the air or if I want to climb, I'm going to pull the yoke back. If I want to do a climbing left turn, I'm going to do just like this. All right. I'm making sure my elevator is pointed back there is like that. Pointed up. The elevator is the wing back there. All right. Now I'm going to turn right. So that aileron should be up, or that wing should be up. That wing should be down, or that aileron should be down, which it is. All right, now they should be level. They should be equal with each other, which they are. I want to go down. I want to pitch down. I'm going to go full yoke forward. The elevator back there should be pointed down, which it is. Now my rudders are the vertical tail. So that means if I use left rudder or left pedal, my rudder is going to be pointed to the left. If I use right rudder or right pedal, my rudder should be pointed to the right, which it is, as you can see back there. All right, so the flight controls are good. Press and bug. All right, so this is the airspeed indicator. We'll use this for takeoff.
Aircraft, Montgomery Tower information, Foxtrot, Snow Ground, altimeter 3015.
All right, so this is our airspeed indicator, and we're going to be using this for takeoff. We want to rotate, or we want to pitch the airplane up, or we want to go up in the air. We want to climb up. We want to rotate 55 knots. We don't want to go any slower than that because we might not get off the runway. We might not have enough or enough lift on our wings to get off the runway. So we don't want to go 65 or 70 because then we might take up too much runway and we might not make to the end of the runway. So it's very important to know when your rotations are when you pull back on the yoke. All right. All right. This is the attitude indicator. We're just looking at it and make sure it's basically telling us what our airplane is doing right now. We'll use that later in the air. I'll show you how. This is the altimeter. This is how I gauge how high I am in the air. I'll tell you how I use that a little later. Turn coordinator basically tells me if my turns are coordinated. So that means if I'm making good turns or bad turns and stuff like that. Like when you're in a car and you try to drift. It's going to be a good drift, you know. This is a head indicator. I'm making sure that it's matched up with my magnetic compass right here. This tells me what direction I'm flying to. All right. All right. So mixture. I'm pull it back all the way to the front. Just because I want to check my engine, make sure everything's good. All right. Going trim set for takeoff. I want to set my trim for takeoff so I don't have to use so much pressure on the yoke. This helps alleviate that pressure. Alright, throttle, I'm going to 1800 RPM, so I'm going to push the throttle in until I get to 8, which is that dash mark right there. Make sure I have my feet on the brakes. Now, I'm going to check my magnetos, which are the workhorse of my engine. They're kind of like spark plugs in a way. Alright, or they would give power to the spark plugs. Alright, so I'm going to the left magneto. Noticing a drop on the tach meter. Alright. Going to both again, so I'm going one click back to the right. Now I'm going to right, which is 2 clicks to the left. Checking that right magneto. Alright, notice the drop, and it's good. I'm going back to both. So magnetos, the right magneto controls half of the engine, the other magneto controls the other half. I'm just checking the engine, making sure it's up to par according to the manufacturer's limitations set out by them. Now I'm checking the enunciator panel. This is my warning system. So let's say if I have a flat tire or anything like that, or low pressure or low vacuum, it's going to show me right here. It says low fuel. If I have low fuel, let me know. I want to make sure that's working, of course, as well. Alright. I'm going to pull the throttle back to idle to make sure my engine doesn't cut off as I pull it to idle, which it doesn't. Idle is basically pulling it all the way out. I want to make sure that I pull it all the way out, that the engine doesn't cut off, because if I do that in the air, I don't want my engine cutting off on me and we drop out of the sky. I don't want that. You want that? Hope not. Trying to scare me, man. Alright, so everything was good. We checked our instruments and everything like that. Oil pressure was over there was good, or temperature was good, or vacuum was good. Everything was in the green. Alright, now I'm going to talk to the tower and let them know I'm ready for takeoff. So, to talk to the tower, what I'm going to do is switch this to COM 1, and this is the tower frequency right here, as it says right here. In order to talk to them, I have to use the mic button on the yoke to talk to them. This is a push-to-talk button. So you have to push this button, and then you say what you want to them. On your yoke or your steering wheel, it's this button. This one right here. That one right there. Alright, so I'm going to tell tower I'm ready for takeoff. Are you ready for takeoff?
Adam 22 here. Adam 22, roger.
Montgomery Tower says the 173, Mike Echo is ready for takeoff at Alpha 4.
This is the 173, Mike Echo, Montgomery Tower, hold short of runway 10 at Alpha 4, traffic landing.
10, hold short, Alpha 4, 3 Mike Echo. Alright, so remember, when we take off today, the reason why we couldn't take off right there, because we have those fighters coming in right now, coming in to land. We can't take off when they're about to land themselves. Alright, we want to be safe out here. We don't want to get crashed. Alright, so when we take off today, I'll be looking at airspeed indicator. I want to make sure that I rotate at 55. This little dash mark right here. Alright, so I'm just waiting for the tower guys up there in that tower right there to give me clearance so I can take off.
Adam 21, flight turn left at the end, taxi to Yarm via Alpha.
Adam 21 left at the end of the Yarm.
This 3 Mike Echo, wind 180 runway 10 at Alpha 4, clear for takeoff, enter a left downwind departure.
10, Alpha 4, clear for takeoff. Left downwind departure, 3 Mike Echo.
Montgomery Tower, shooter 233 holding short Alpha 74 for departure.
Shooter 233, Montgomery Tower, hold short of runway 10, full length.
Hold short 10, 233.
Alright, so what I'm going to do here is line up with this line right here, as you can see it outside. Now I'm going to use this black knob or power here, and I'm going to push it all the way in. All I'm going to do is push it all the way in. Alright, the airplane is at full power and we're rolling. We are ready to take off in a few moments here. Once we get to 55, I'm looking at this airspeed indicator here. That's how I'm using it. Once I get to 55, I'm going to pull back on the yoke, just like this. Pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, and we're in the air. Just like that. Alright, so we're in the air here. We're climbing, going up in the skies. I know you can feel it because I can. Alright, now we're going to climb at 75 knots. Alright, so I want to climb at that speed right there. And what I'm doing to get to that speed, I'm pitching the airplane either up or down. Or I'm going up with the yoke, or I'm going down with the yoke. Or I'm going forward with the yoke, or I'm going down with the yoke. Alright, he said to do a left downwind departure. I left down.
233, wind 170 at 6, fly runway heading runway 10, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading clear for takeoff, 10, shooter 233.
That didn't apply to us, so they don't have to worry about it. It's just another guy taking off right now. So he said left downwind departure. That basically means I'm going to keep turning left in the traffic pattern or the box pattern for terms, and I'm going to keep turning left. I want to climb at 75 here because that's the best speed where I can get the most altitude or the most feet above the ground. All right. So basically, in order to climb at 75 knots, I need to use the yoke. I need to either go forward with it or go back with it. But normally if you're climbing, you're going to go back or pull it towards your chest. So you're going to pull it just enough so you can get the airspeed you want. So if I pull it back too much, notice how my airspeed goes up too much. See that? I don't want that. So I need to push it forward a little bit some. Get that airspeed that I want. Just like that. Why don't you give it a try? Here again, I forgot to introduce myself.
Delta 3 Mike Echo, turn right on course to the west practice area. Transition through Maxwell class Delta is approved.
Turn right on course west practice area and transition through Maxwell airspace. 3 Mike Echo.
Shooter 233, contact departure.
Alright, so basically he was just telling me I can turn towards the practice area over there and I can transition to the military airspace just fine. He went ahead and did that for me. Such a nice guy of him. So that's all he was telling me, that I could transition. I could head to the west practice area.
Montgomery departure.
Oh yeah, I forgot to introduce myself. But basically I'm Torius Moore, Chief Pilot of the Red Tail Scholarship Foundation, where we are geared towards increasing the African American pilot percentage in the aviation industry. Alright, and today you're here with me so I can teach you how to fly. I want more pilots out there just like me. That's the goal. Alright, so what I'm doing, I'm at my altitude that I want to be at. I want to be at 2,500. So what I do is I pull the power to 23. Alright, I'm pushing forward on the yoke so I can fly straight instead of up and down. I want to fly straight now. I want to fly straight. I don't want to fly up and down because I want to stay at this altitude. Alright, in order to do that, I might have to use a little nose down trim.
Delta 3 Mike Echo, exiting Montgomery class Delta to the northwest. Frequency change is approved.
Frequency change approved, 3 Mike Echo. Alright, so what he did right there was just tell me that frequency change approved. And I can talk to anybody, I can talk to the people at Prattville. Alright, because that's where we're headed today in a few moments. Alright, so like I said, I can use this trim right here to help me out so I don't have to use so much muscle right here to push forward on this yoke. Because look at it, if I did this, I'm climbing. I don't want that. I want to go straight in level flight. I want to go straight. So I don't have to use so much muscle. I ain't trying to get a workout today. Maybe tomorrow, but not today. I'm going to go ahead and use a little nose down trim and put some trim in there for me so I don't have to use so much pressure on the yoke. Kind of like autopilot, alright, or cruise in the car. Alright, so I'm going to use a little bit more here. Alright, so how do I know that I'm flying straight and I'm not climbing or descending? Well, you guessed it. I'm going to use the horizon. The horizon is where the sky meets the ground. Alright, basically all I'm going to do is match this dashboard up with the horizon. That tells me if I'm climbing or not. Because if I pull up, I can no longer see the horizon. It's covered up. But if I push it down a little bit, now I can see the horizon again. And it's lined up with the dashboard. If I go down, now I can see too much of the horizon and I'm pointing at the ground. So I know that I'm descending or I'm going down. Alright, so I want to go back up so I get back to straight and level flight. Alright, also, I'm using an altimeter right here to gauge my distance above the ground. Alright, so you see this little knob right here? This one? That tells me how many thousands of feet I am. This tells me how many hundreds of feet I am. This one tells me how many tens of thousands of feet I am. So right now I'm at 2,800 feet. Whoa, I'm high. That's pretty high. So that's like a lot of people standing on top of each other, or a tall building, in other words. All right? So that's how to use that instrument. I want to use this instrument. I want to basically be imitating what I'm doing in the airplane. All right? So if I was to do a left turn, I'm going to say I'm doing a left turn. See my airplane turning left? That's my miniature airplane right there. All right, so that's how I'm using that instrument. I'm using this instrument to gauge how high I am. So if this needle goes up, that means I'm climbing. If this needle goes down, that means I'm descending. Or if this needle goes up or it increases, that means I'm going up in the air. This needle, so like this, right there, that means I'm going up in the air. I'm climbing. But if I'm descending, or the needle goes down, that means I'm descending. I'm going down in the air, or down in the sky, just like that. All right? Like I said before, the throttle, the black knob, controls my power setting. So if I want to have a lot of power, I go all the way in, just like that. If I want to have no power, I'm pulling it all the way back, just like that. All right? All right, so I'm going to tell Prattville I'm in the area, West Practice area, just so people can be alarmed and aware of where am I at, and if I know of any other traffic in the area. All right, so I'm going to give them a holler. I'm going to push this button right here to talk to them. Prattville traffic says the 173 Mike Echo, headed towards this West Practice area at 2,500. Be doing some maneuvering, and I'll head back to do a landing, Prattville. All right, so basically I just told them I was in the West Practice area doing a little maneuvering, and then I'm headed back to do a landing at Prattville, and then I'm headed back to Montgomery. All right, so
traffic, 9 Alpha Foxtrot is 5 miles to the west, overflying midfield, left traffic, 18 Wheat.
All right, so that doesn't apply. That's just some other guy not even close to Prattville right now. All right, so look, the airspeed indicator, I told you how we use that. We use that for our speed. This is our actually speed in the air right now, about 95 knots. All right, we use this to tell us what our airplane is doing. It's just imitating what we're doing in the skies. This tells us how high above the ground. I'm looking at it to see if it goes up or down. It tells me if I'm climbing or not. Using this.
Traffic, Cherokee 560 is turning base, runway 11.
All right, so I'm using this to tell me if my turns are coordinated or not. All right. I'm using this to tell me what heading or what direction I'm flying to. All right. So that's the basics of how to use the instrument. Now let me tell you how to do like climbs and turns and all that good stuff that you want to know about so you can fly the airplane for yourself next time. All right, so if I want to go up, what I'm going to do is, if I want to climb, I'm going to go full power all the way in. And I'm pitching the airplane up.
Traffic, Cherokee 560 is turning final, runway 11.
Doesn't apply to us. So I'm going full power all the way in. I'm pitching the airplane up, aiming for that cloud out there. I'm going to pitch for 75. I'm going to do whatever I want to get to 75 knots because that's my climbing speed. All right. That's all I'm doing. I'm having full power in. I'm pulling back on the yoke so I can get 75 knots. So I'm looking at the airspeed indicator. I'm doing the yoke. I'm touching the power, and I'm also looking at my altimeter here. I'm climbing all the way to 3,500. So I'm at 3,200 right now. And the needle is increasing. That's what that means. I'm climbing. All right. And this tells me I'm climbing too. It says I'm at a 10-degree pitch right now, or a 10-degree climb. This tells me I'm headed west. I'm headed west right there. This is west. That's north. That's east. That's south. I'm headed west. I'm in the West Practice area. Of course, I'm heading west. All right. This tells me my turn. If the ball is in the center, that means my turn is coordinated, or my climb is coordinated. So right now, I'm coordinated. All right, so let's say I want to descend. I'm going power all the way out. If I wanted to descend, I'm going power all the way out. And I'm pitching the airplane down, or I'm pushing forward on the airplane a little bit. Pushing forward on the yokes. All right, and look at it. The needle is going down, so it tells me if I'm descending or not. All right? So normally you don't want to point the airplane all the way on the ground like that. You know, you just want to point it just enough, like a 3 degrees of a downward pitch or a down pitch. So pick something out there and pitch towards that, fly towards that. That's all you're doing. You want to have about a rate of about 95 to 100 knots. So you're going to push forward on the yoke just enough to get you that airspeed right there. All right. So that's how you descend, basically, or that's how you go down. So we went up, we went down. Guess what's next? Left and right. So what I'm going to do is go back. I'm going to go stop the descent or stop going down. And I have to go nose level with the horizon. So match that dashboard back up. And I'm going to add power. So the black knob, I'm pushing it in to 23. All right. All right. Now I'm going to teach you how to go left and right. So to go right, I'm going to just basically just turn the steering wheel to the right, just like this. And so it's my airplane showing me that I'm turning to the right. That's all you have to do to turn right. Just like this. And you can see my ailerons on that side's pointed down, and this one's pointed up. That's how you know I'm turning right. And the aileron's just the wings on the left and right. All right. Now I'm turning left, so I'm going to turn it airplane left by turning the yoke left or the steering wheel left. That aileron's pointed down, and that one's pointed up, as you can see out there. And that's how you turn left. All right. So now I'm gonna descend. I'm gonna go down some more because I'm going to Prattville now. Because I taught you how to climb. I taught you how to descend, or I taught you how to go up and down. I taught you how to go left and right. That's pretty much all you need to know to fly an airplane for the basics. Now we will teach you how to land. So I taught you how to take off. I taught you how to climb, descend, up, down. I taught you how to turn left and right. Now I'm gonna teach you how to land. And then we go to Prattville and get something to eat. It's been a long day. But before all that, I'm going to keep my descent coming in. I'm going to be landing pretty soon. I'm going to listen to the weather at Prattville, so I can see how it's looking over there.
Weather observation 1821 Zulu, weather, wind 130 at 5, visibility 103,000.
Airways traffic, section 118 is clear to the south. Last call in Lucia.
Prattville traffic, Scout 13592, departing runway 27 to the northeast, Prattville.
Alright. So basically that guy was just telling us that he's departing towards from runway 27. So I need to be looking out for him. So he's just giving us a traffic update telling us he was departing the runway. Alright, so I'm going to tell him that pushing power in because I want to stop the descent now, because I'm at traffic pattern altitude. Traffic pattern altitude is the altitude that you need to be at when you're in the traffic pattern. Because if you're not at the traffic pattern altitude, and normally the bigger airplane, or like the jets, they fly at a higher altitude, or sometimes a lower altitude. If we're not if we're not at high altitude, then we can possibly crash and run into them. Prattville traffic says to 173 Mike Echo, maneuvering to enter the left downwind for 27 Prattville. Oh, you see? I went a little bit there.
Traffic 3 kilo pop, 2 mile left base, runway 32 full stop for Eagle.
Prattville traffic, I've got you inside. We'll be departing to the north.
Roger, Echo, 3 Mike Echo.
Greenville traffic 3 kilo pop, short final, runway 32 full stop for Eagle.
Alright, so now
123 Charlie Charles coming in from
all that stuff did it.
runway 9 and
All that stuff didn't apply to us. So basically, all we're doing right now is setting up for our landing. So basically, when we come into land, all we're doing is a box. We're just doing a straight right here, 90 degrees to the left and 90 degrees to the left again, and then we're landing. So we have a downwind, we have a base, and we have a final, and then we touch down. All right. So basically, you're going to be going down fully in power. Just how I taught you to descend or how to go down, that's what we're going to do today. That's basically majority of what you do to for your landing approach. And we're headed to Prattville today, so we get us good old food. So all I'm doing is just staying at 1,200 here, which is my traffic pattern and altitude. I know that I'm 1,200 because I'm looking at this instrument. Alright, I'm going to tell the guys I'm on downwind here. I'm about to start my descent, my approach. Alright, real traffic says to 173, Mike Echo on downwind for 27 Prattville. Alright, so I'm going to start my approach. So I'm going to power to idle, power all the way out. I'm going to keep my airplane from a descent first, so I'm going to level it back up with the horizon because I want to be able to put flaps down. I can't put flaps down until I get to this wide arc on the airspeed indicator. So I'm going to put my flaps down. I'm going to do them in increments. Alright, I'm not going to do them all at once. If I do them all at once, I might descend too much. I want to descend at a very smooth pace. Smooth for my passengers, smooth for you out there. Alright, I'm going to add a little power because I feel like I'm too low. And I want to pitch for this airspeed. I want to be at that airspeed because I don't want to stall the airplane, or I don't want an airplane to crash out of the sky and drop. I don't want that. So I'm going to keep this airspeed. Prattville traffic says to 173, Mike Echo, turning base for 27, Prattville. Alright, I'm going to put another notch of flaps down here. So how do I know to use this airspeed? I'm just basically making sure that it lines up with 80, and I'm controlling my yoke here to manipulate that airspeed. So I'm manipulating my yoke to get the airspeed that I want. Looking at my altimeter here, how high above the ground I am. I really don't need my altimeter right here. I can actually just visually look out the airplane and see how I am. Am I too high, or am I too low? Am I short? Am I too fast, or am I too slow? Or am I right on glide slope? Alright, I'm going to add a touch of power here because I feel like I'm too low. I'm visually looking outside. I want to pitch the airplane down, or I want to go down on the yoke. I want to push forward on the yoke so I can get 80. So if I go down, or if I push the yoke forward, then I will increase my airspeed. I put my last notch of flaps down. Pulling my power back just a little bit. I want to descend. I want to descend and touch down on that runway right there. Alright, so all I'm doing is just keeping this airspeed. That's all I'm doing is keeping this airspeed. And keeping that descent coming down. So I'm just pointing at the runway. That's all I'm doing is pointing my nose at the runway, and once I get close enough, I'm just pulling the airplane up at the point, and that's how you land. So right about here, I'm going to start pulling my power back, pulling it out, just like that. But once I get about right here, a little bit above the runway, I'm starting to pitch my airplane up to level flight. And as I get to level flight, I'm just kind of letting the airplane, letting it glide, and I'm just pitching it up, pitching it up, pitching it up, just like we did earlier, pitching it up, just like that. That's all I did. Alright, and that's how you land, folks. That's pretty much the basics of how you land. Well, how'd you like it? I enjoyed it. Hope you did as well. We're going to go out there and get some food, get something to eat, fill our stomachs, and get back to Montgomery. But it's nice having you with me today. I really do appreciate it. I do appreciate you coming out there today and listening to me. Letting me teach you how to fly is one of the most important things. That's one of the most important things I enjoy doing. I enjoy increasing the pilot percentage, no matter what. Prattville traffic says the 173 Mike Echo, clear of active, Prattville. Alright, so I just let them know I was clear of the way. That's what I did there. Alright, so I'm going to pass the in here. So I'm using my pedals again to turn the airplane, controlling my throttle. Alright, so I'm turning here. Alright, so now I'm going to teach you how to shut the airplane off. I'm always using my checklist. So make sure my flaps are up, putting my flaps up, make sure they're coming up. Alright, get my mixture out, just pulling it out some, about 2 just like we did earlier. Alright, so in order to turn the airplane off, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to turn my avionics off, which is when I'm talking. Once I turn that switch off, once I turn this switch off, all I'm going to do is put my finger right here and pulling the mixture out. That literally cuts the engine off, and you're done. So, turn this switch off, pull this one out, and then I'm turning my red switch off, and I'm turning and taking it out. That's all you have to do. Just start the engine. That's all you have to do to take off. That's all you have to do, go up and down, side to side, left to right, descent, landing, turning off the engine. I taught you everything. So let me run it through it again. Because once we turn off the avionics, you won't be able to hear me. So all I'm doing is pulling this red knob. Well, first I'm turning this switch off, pulling this red knob out, turning this red knob off, which is the master switch. I'm turning the key to the off position, take it out. That's all I have to do. All right, let's do it. Like I said, it's nice having you out there with me. We'll get to Prattville and show you a good time. Thank you. See you soon.
All right, see you. Have a good one. Thanks for joining in. Tune in for next time. Torius Moore, Red Tail Scholarship Foundation.